Hey everybody, this is Joseph Hasek, and welcome to the Fired Up Network. Welcome to the Soccer Show. Welcome back to head coach Carmen Asako, and welcome to a newcomer to the Fired Up and Fem Network. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. Steph, go ahead, introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi guys. I'm Stephanie Dreyer. I've been a journalist and TV presenter for most of my life, and coming from Europe, actually from Germany. I mean, soccer is one of the biggest things in our country. So I'm, sort of very anxious to see that the World Cup is coming to Canada, and of course also about the championship league final.
Yes. Okay. So, Carm, listen to her history. Obviously, you're right now in Toronto, but you have experience all over. Your favorite team is Germany, and she asked me before we started, Carmen, what is he, Italian? I go, yes, he's Italian. So push it in. Where's Italy in the World Cup this year?
I didn't push it. Come on, I didn't push it. Joe, you're putting me on the spot
No, no,
here.
no.
No,
We
the
didn't push
Germans,
it.
the Germans will never speak ill of the Italians. They can't. The history is too loud. The we can go back to World Cups and Euros and all that stuff, and the German the Achilles heel, the kind of thorn in the side for the Germans has always been the Italians. So
Well, we are always fearing, the Italians. We know that they
mm,
are, sort of strong when, sort of the finals are coming up or semifinals. And at the end of the day, I find it's really good to have, a lot of strong European teams represented. And let me put it this way, Germany is not my favorite team. As a German, I have to root for the German team. But because I'm also Canadian, I root, of course, also for the Canadian team now. And that's, I think, going to be a fascinating one to watch because that it is the golden generation, and I feel we have a lot of Germans, sort of, because I mean, let's put it this way, a lot of them, sort of work and play in European leagues. So it's going to be interesting. They bring the European element with them to the game.
yeah, our
Oh,
one and only. Hopefully, we'll see a stalwart for Bayern Munich be playing for Canada. So we'll
Exactly.
hopefully Fonzie recovers in time to play. But all things are said, it doesn't look like he's going to be ready for at least June 12th.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, as long as, sort of we see him in the, sort of group phase, I think it will be fine because we have more than one game ahead of us. But of course, I think it's important to have, sort of your big players out on the field to really, sort of set the tone for each game, because also you want to intimidate your opponent, right? You want to make sure that you come with your guns blazing out onto the field and tell everybody, hey, this is my game today, and you're not getting 1 inch. So I'm hoping for the best for Canada. I mean, it's like I said, tonight we're going to see who's going to be picked. Maybe Carmen, you can share your let's say, very cute 5 minutes before we maybe head on to the Champions League final that is coming up, on Saturday. But what are your predictions for, the pick tonight?
I don't think much is going to change from what they have in camp. Um, so I think the picks. I'm a little disappointed already, but I will not display my displeasure right now. But the goalkeepers are the three they have. Uh, I believe Pentemis will be the fourth, but it'll be Dane and Max and Goodman. Um, the defenders are it's that's an interesting issue. Leaving out Kamal. For me, yes, he didn't have a great last 6 months with the national team, but I still think that he's an important piece of it, and he was an important piece in the locker room. When I was there, and I think that he was a very good professional. I think is there going to be a competition between Nico and Alistair and Richie, which that's going to be an interesting issue there. But I think all three of them are obviously solidified with that defensive core. Um, Waterman, the way they're going to look at Waterman, we'll see if he's a valuable asset. Obviously, Bombito's going to be a stalwart there, but he hasn't played much. And
Mm,
Neath, Nice is going to be very, very, very like Nice went from European qualifying to relegation battle, which I'm not even sure if they've played the League Two team to be relegated or not. But Bombito is just a world class center back, and you have to keep him and make do with what you have. And you have Cornelius, who for me, Cornelius and Kamal Miller. Cornelius hasn't played for Rangers, hasn't played much at all. But I mean, he's been very good for the national team. So not taking anything away from him. I think he'll be part of it. Luke de Figueroa, did well at the professional level in Belgium, so that was a good step. And he's just still 22 years old, 21 years old, sorry. And I think he's going to be part of it. The midfield's going to be interesting. Stefan Estacchio, Jonathan Osario's getting up there too. It'll be interesting who they keep. Obviously, Kone's for sure. Um, it'll be interesting. Who Saliba has been very good. Chouanier has been better than Eustachio in the MLS. So there's going to be some questionable decisions. Um, and up top, Laren, Jonathan David are for sure's. Promise. I bet they're looking on how he's going to be available or not. Jebison would probably be the odd man out there. Obviously, in the wide areas, Tejan's shoe in for sure. Schaffelberg, we'll see. I think Schaffelberg is one that's gonna kind of be left out, but we'll see because he
Okay.
hasn't played much this year. Yeah, I have a eerie type feeling that he's gonna be the odd man out because Liam Miller, you know, up to the Prem, had a great season, and I think that would be the selection process between Schaffelberg and Miller.
So,
So
so
yeah,
Carm,
we'll see. Lots
let
to
me
see,
ask
but
you
lots to
this.
hear.
Let
Yes.
me ask you this. You basically know everybody here on Team Canada and all that. Give me one or two players that not a lot of people are talking about, but you think they can surprise during the World Cup.
Um. Well, again, Tejan's had a very up and down international career, even
Mm.
even a domestic career. But lately he's been fantastic. So I think that he may be a name that people might look at too. I mean, think of where he was with Inter, and loaned out to Spanish teams now. So I think that he may kind of have a resurgence that not a lot of people have are talking about him. Uh, I think that Kone's experience in Italy with Sassuolo has been fantastic. I think that he's been in an atmosphere where he's learned and I think he'll be a stalwart. I think he'll be a name that might get a lot of press again. And I mean Bombito, who's been injured, and the injury we don't even know the status how he's healing, but he seems to think that he's going to be ready for game one, June 12th. Um, I think that'll be interesting for him. And I think the one kid that always stands out and when things are always looking bleak for him is Nico Seeger. Nico Seeger, I think that he's gonna make a big stink, and I think that a lot of European teams will he'll pry him away from the hands of a Hajduk Split, and I think that he's going to be a major impact as well.
Let me
Myself,
ask you this. Sorry, Joe. Just to come back to what you mentioned earlier regarding the goalkeeper situation. I mean, Marsh has publicly acknowledged that the decision is very difficult, and neither of them are world-class keepers, at least viewed at the moment. How do you feel about the goalkeeper situation? Because Germany at the moment is debating hugely about this topic because we are bringing Manuel Neuer back, basically, and a retired guy to sort of to the roster. So how important is the goalkeeper position for the team itself?
Yeah, both incredibly important, obviously, incredibly important. But they have two good keepers. They have two very good keepers. Dane St. Clair's kind of gone through a transition in play style from Minnesota to Inter Miami. Minnesota was very dropped off very deep. They had big center backs that dealt with every aerial ball. Now it's kind of it's all changed with with Inter Miami. So and he struggled with that transition, but he's back to making great saves. He's just a little busier than he was with Minnesota than he is now. I think that that transition will help him the most
Mm.
from and the way Inter Miami plays and with Canada's high line and high pressing. I think that his ability to organize and kind of take care of the space in behind that back four is going to be crucial. Um, Maxime is a pro. Maxime is for me is a world class goalkeeper. He'll be ready, and I think they'll both be used. To be honest with you, and I think Maxine has just been in a terrible situation with Orlando, where their team defending, individual defending has been awful, and it's kind of left him on an island.
Mm.
But looking at the progress of the keepers right now, I think it's obviously a 1A, but I think Dane's going to get that first game, which is going to be a crucial game, and I
Mm.
think that it'll be his to run with. And historically, when things are at their worst, Dane has done very well, especially in tournament play. And he's mentally they're both mentally great people. Um, they're great teammates. So I'm really not worried. And there is controversy in that situation, but I think Dane will be 1A and Maxime will be 1B, and I think Maxime will definitely they'll both play games.
Right. Joe, you're
Okay.
going to go ahead with a question.
Yeah. Before we get to the Champions League final, Carm, I'm always the most positive person, right? And last World Cup, they've surprised Canada, surprised everybody, and all that. Now, what happens in the home soil if Canada does not make it out of the first round, or does not have? Everybody's thinking they're gonna go past the first round, second round, and hopefully make it to the 16, make it to the 8. But what happens if they don't? We planned the World Cup for 8 years, 10 years, 12 years to win in home soil, to have great stadiums and great everything. What happens if they lay an egg? What happens? Marsh just got an extension here of 4 years more. What happens to Canada soccer? Because when we don't win in hockey, there's going to be a revolution. But in soccer, they planned this out for 10, 12 years. Okay, we're planning, it's in Toronto, it's in Canada, and everything like that. And 4 years ago, they did very well. Now, if they lay an egg, there's big time problems. What do you think?
Well, 4 years ago, I mean, with all the hoopla, I think they underachieved. To be honest with you, I mean, they did get
Exactly.
their first goal. They did. They did compete at the world stage, but they need to use that as a springboard. And everything that Jesse Marsh and company have done since then is to prepare them for this stage. And I think the best preparation is where they've been playing, how they've been developing, what their mentality is. They went to play France and the Netherlands, and in hostile conditions, and did very well. Wales did very well. So they know. I think the only hurdle right now is fitness and injuries and when they're at their best, they're not only confident that they're going to get out of this group, they're confident they're going to win the group. But right now, that's the issue. you know Richie, he's got that dodgy hamstring, which the hamstring is such a sensitive thing, and we see it all the time with Alfonso Davies is the
Mm.
perfect. Think about Tajon's when he broke his leg, but I mean, he recovered, and look at his recovery right now. But the hamstring, it's just like a wet paper bag ready to rip again. So these are question marks that are crucial. Alistair Johnson making a good comeback as well. So he'll be useful. But how much game time? And he's been playing 90 minutes in the latter part of the season for Celtic. But there's so many question marks. I don't think that Canada at their best. uh, I don't think it's unfathomable that they don't get out of this group. unfathomable that they don't get out of this group if they're at their healthiest. But that's the issue. They're not. They're not.
But I
Okay,
mean, they
fine.
have let me put it this way, but they have a manageable group compared to other ones. And I think it is a, let's say, realistic expectation that they make it out of the group stage. I think the issue is for Canada, you know, in 2022, it was just you are the emotional underdog and it's great to perform there. So nobody was expecting, I think, too much. Of course, it's always nice if your, you know, country wins, but it wasn't like, okay, Canada, you have to do this. Whereas I think now being a host nation, I think the pressure is so much more up there. And of course, I think also the team wants to be of course, as long as possible in the game because you want to see Canada on the world stage. So I think now they have to mature into becoming a, you know, sort of a football nation, and that takes time. And I don't know if, you know, sort of the world is eyeing on you if you can withstand that pressure. And I think that depends on the team. If they can take, you know, sort of that other pressure out of the game and just focus on, you know, each particular, you know, sort of game that's coming up, and not too much to worry about that, you know, the whole Canadian nation is watching you and hoping to bring you to actually the final in New York, you know. So I think that's going to be, you know, something to consider, because if the players are, if they can take that out of the equation, they can, I think, fulfill that dream and at least bring it to the next level. And it all depends, of course, also, you know, like you said, the fitness is crucial nowadays. It's not just one player, you need the whole full team to be, you know, sort of behind it. But yeah, I just feel, you know, sort of if we want to stretch also into Champions League, I think this is also the, you know, the question for Arsenal and PSG, because you are thinking about, you know, sort of Arsenal becoming, you know, sort of from the club level, bringing it to a different kind of, you know, level right now as well, because they've never won Champions League. So their pressure must be, I mean, just over the top right now. And for PSG, I think the same thing. Being, you know, the sort of the defending champion, you want to bring everything to the game and just say, it wasn't a fluke, we're here to slay, you know?
Yeah, I mean PSG and Arsenal's an interesting. The Arsenal kind of took the pragmatic approach throughout the Prem
Yeah.
Championship. They were pragmatic. They were defensive. They took opportunities in transition. They found ways to dominate in the middle third without and in the attacking third with the ball. Very pragmatic, and I think that this is the massive hurdle. I think getting that Prem title was I don't know, it's been 22 years, so I think this is a massive hurdle. Their approach in Champions League was much different. They were much front foot. They're much let's get at teams as they did Atletico. I don't know if you guys watched that two
Yeah.
leg, but you know what? Arsenal was on the front foot, uh, creating opportunities. Very, very much not only a pragmatic team, but an attacking team, a team with dangerous, um, lots of dangerous moments going forward in those assist zones, getting their wingbacks high, like all that stuff. You know, their defensive transition setup wasn't always, you know, the four back or that holding and then, you know, let's see what our top six can do. They got people involved in the attack, and I think that can be very problematic for PSG. Um, but PSG, wow, wow, like their attacking ability, their top three, their pace, their middle three, their epitome of what a perfect team is. Um, and just because of their athleticism, their pace, their individual 1v1 ability, and the lack of structure is the structure for PSG. Like they're
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
unpredictable. They don't really put limits on their attacking what we call them patterns or options. They're very very dynamic, and that could be very difficult for Arsenal. I think that Arsenal in transition, I think they're going to go back to that pragmatic approach. I don't think they'll have the ball as much, but in transition they can create things. Gyökeres has been very good. I think he's going to be very, very important for this, and hopefully he can be there from the beginning. But He's not been in the beginning a lot in the Prem, but a lot in the Champions League. I think he's going to be very important in transition to get those players involved, the Martinellis and who knows, Kai Havertz, another important German. We'll see how he does, but he's been starting for the group over Gyökeres lately. Very intelligent player, but important, very important to this game, and the impact off the bench as well. And Saka, he's been probably the best player in England in the last couple of months. Fit, ready to go, dangerous. So that'll be a dangerous team in transition. But again, winning it, finishing the action, but losing it against PSG. So the transition after the transition is going to be it could be lethal. It could be lethal for PSG and could be tragic for Arsenal for me.
So
You
there are
say
no winners in your basically.
that's what I want to
Whoever
know.
loses.
No, it's yeah, again, the game yes, it's good. Both teams could win this game, absolutely. But the importance of Arsenal defending in a mid block or progressively pressing is going to be key. The pressing for PSG from front to back is going to be key. The exploiting of that space in behind by Arsenal, which I'm not sure they can, is going to be key.
Okay,
But when
Carm. Okay,
Arsenal
listen.
wins that
Give me
ball,
a pick
when Arsenal
already.
wins that ball in transition, they have to finish actions. If they don't
Give me a
and they
pick.
lose it,
I'm expecting to
PSG
put
will come right back
$100
their
on it.
throat
Come
and kill
on.
them.
All right.
So
So
I get Carmine is said PSG. I mean, let me put it this way: the bookies, PSG has the upper hand at the moment. So, and I don't know what will win. So these are two different kind of philosophies of modern football. You have, like Carmine said, the very strategic, sort of approach from Arsenal, and you have the brilliant chaos from PSG, and it will really depend on sort of what team has the momentum. I think because finals are rarely won by the team that plays the prettier football, let's be honest. Usually they are won by the team that controls momentum and has the right kind of moments. So I mean, and one moment can really decide the whole game.
Exactly.
And
And the restarts, Arsenal are incredibly efficient on restarts, corners, and
yeah,
so we'll see a little bit of old England in the Arsenal game, I believe, getting their center backs up high, winning headers, winning first and second phase is going to be important. This could
yeah.
come down to a restart, but I can't see Arsenal keeping PSG off the score sheet.
okay, one final question. Since I have my colleague here who loves Germany, take us through what Germany's and this is from Italian. All right. So what Germany's stance at the World Cup will be? You think Germany will win the World Cup? Finish get out of the group. Finish the worst thing is if they go to the final and lose. I hate to go to the final and lose.
You
Our
know
team.
what? At this point, I will stop you there, Joe. If Germany is going to the final, we will be very happy because nobody at the moment believes that we will make it. All our sports commentators, everybody that I talk to, yeah, you are already wearing the wrong jersey. Come on, my friend. What about the
Carm,
pride of
who's better?
Canada? We should be
Wait,
rooting for
yeah, well,
Canada.
I'm Canadian. We're all Canadian. But if Canada makes it to the final, the pigs will fly. So between
No,
Spain
let's go
and
back.
Germany, between
Okay,
Spain and
let's go
Germany,
back to Germany. Okay, I will tell you. Look, no, let's be honest here. If Germany makes it to the final, this would be a really great success. And if we lose, of course, it will be terrible. But we are not kidding ourselves. I don't think we have it in us right now. If we have, I mean, we always say that if Germany is coming up to the World Cup, we're always coming together, and it's going to be a great sort of show, and we have some great players and we have a good roster. But at the end of the day, I'm not sure there are so many other great teams out there, and you're already wearing the jersey sort of Spain and France. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. They have amazing talent there. England is one to watch because they want to bring it home. So there are so many other big contenders. So if Germany makes it out to the quarterfinals, semifinals, I think we will be happy. Germany is not trying to sort of go with sort of all the confidence in the world. And yeah, I mean, I'm happy for them if they make it, but I think they are not the first one. They are not in the top 5, to be honest.
All
In
right,
my
Carm.
in my so I'm not sure if Carmine agrees with me, but I'm not sure it's not the sort
Carmen's
of
gonna
like they
pick
are sure
Canada.
in.
Carm's picking Canada, and
No,
and
I
and and,
agree. I
and
agree. The Germans it's an interesting team. I agree that if they do get to the final stages of the World Cup, it would be overachieving.
Yes.
Um, I think that they're going through a transition. I don't think Nagelsmann is an international coach to win World Cups. I think he's a very good club coach. I think he has an incredible view on the game, view how to play the game. Have they gone a little younger? Yes, the Germans. Yes, for sure. It'll be exciting to see, but I think that they're not complete, and they're not gonna play to win a World Cup. Sometimes you have to play with some humility, and that's not Nagelsmann is not that person to play with humility, to play with to play kind of not having the ball as much, or I think that may be a bit of their downfall, and their youth, which is their strength right now, may also be their worst quality, and the center back positions. The center back positions. I don't know the final selections. Was it Ta and
I haven't looked at
and
the final selection either.
Schulterberg?
Yeah, because we are
So
still, we are still in shock, because we thought Baumann is the sure in for the goalkeeper, and then at the last minute, Neuer was called back, and to bring back, a retiree, and also upsetting the whole communication. So for a lot of people, this is more the issue. I think the rest of the team can play pretty well together, but bringing in somebody that hasn't been with the team that much, and also like you said, we wanted to go younger, and now we're bringing in back a 40-year-old for the goal. I mean, of course, Manuel Neuer is a world-class goalkeeper, has all the experience in the world, and he can be, sort of a very good, sort of role model for everyone to, and bring, the experience of, playing a World Cup. But at the end of the day, for Nagelsmann to do something like a switch that late in the game was very concerning, because nobody was communicating about it, and all of a sudden he, sort of pulled it out of the bag. And I feel sort of internally that will also be tough for Baumann to swallow, because he was the sure in. And I mean, maybe he will play, and he will, sort of say, for the greater good of Germany, I will do my due diligence, and will, sort of my duty, and will come. But I find it's very hard if you think you're playing, and you're, sort of defending, your country's honor, and then somebody swoops into first place, just because you have the big name and you won already. It's tough. So I find also for the team, it's internally, sort of a real challenge to come back and say, we greet everybody with the same kind of, sort of welcoming, sort of come to my place, and we will work together, because he's an outsider, I feel. And that's why I think that can be also very challenging for a team, if you're not rooting for everyone right away, or you have some, let's say, internal, sort of competition. So I feel that's also irritating the team a little bit, and we never want that. Sort of, you want everybody from the get-go to be like, yes, we can do this. And I think that's why when we were in Brazil, we had the Mannschaft, and everybody was doing, sort of everything for everyone. So I think we had the momentum, and you could feel it also on the field. And this year, I'm not so sure about that. So let's see how we really, sort of do in the first couple of games, and then we have a better sort of opportunity to really judge if they have overcome all of these internal hurdles.
All right. So as we close it out, Carm, I just want to know, we've been texted, what was Carmen's pick for the Champions League final? He doesn't know. So
I'll say no. I'll say PSG, but fate is Arsenal's on
so
is
you're going
on
to say
Arsenal's side.
PSG, but you believe Arsenal's going to win?
No,
All right. All right.
PSG.
PSG. And Steph, what do you say?
I'm gonna say AF Richmond because I don't want to be, sort of anyone on there. I give it to both of them. Whoever, plays the better game tomorrow is just, sort of welcome for me because I just want to see a great, game. I don't, to be honest, my heart is set on, just having a great outcome for everyone to see the final because I feel this is, sort of two really huge, sort of heavyweights for club wise are coming together, and just to see these different kind of philosophies play against each other, that will be fascinating to watch. So I don't mind. And like I said, AFC Richmond is my one. I don't know if you guys are Ted Lasso fans, but I am. And in August, the next season is coming out. And I'm just saying, believe is the most important part of every game.
Listen,
I work at York University. I do men's and women's soccer there, and everybody, all the coaches always quote Lasso. So it's
And do you quote Lasso?
He's a great character. I think the show in general is just a great product for coaching and great product for integrity. And I think it's I mean, do I quote him? No, but like you, how can you not see yourself in someone like him? Hopefully.
Well, and I think he brought back the joy of, soccer again, back to everyone, because it shows you how important it is for, being a team and believing in yourself, sometimes being the underdog, and, sort of that sometimes it's more important to believe than really have all of these superstars just coming out, sort of like, and they are taking up all of the limelight. So I feel that, sort of bringing the joy back to soccer is really important.
Yeah, but I'm still early season Roy Kent. So early first season Roy Kent.
So Carm, June 11th.
Nice. Joe brings that out of me.
All right, Carm, June 11th.
Yes,
are you
Joe.
Inviting me for a barbecue or not?
I don't know where I'm going to be June 11th.
You're not going to be home to watch Canada? Come on. June 12th. Sorry, June 11th is Mexico. June 12th is Canada, but June 12th.
Yes, I will be preparing for a great show.
A great show. So you're saying Canada will win 1-0, right?
Bosnia against Bosnia-Herzegovina. It's a tough one. That's a good game. It's a very good game. I mean,
they are fighters.
They're
how
fighters.
Critical do they need to win their first game?
Ooh.
Oh, yes, massive. It's so much. So it'll take all the pressure. Pretty much, they win their first game, they qualify for the next group.
Yeah.
For the next stage.
Yeah,
so,
I was going to say that's massive. That the impact, also just the motivation that you have from that high that you won the first game. And I mean, like I said, everybody will be watching the host nations, and it doesn't matter if you've been a big football nation before or not. So that's
problem is they may not have their best team to the third game or the third game, unfortunately. Yeah, but yes, exactly, it's massive, right. And let's hope some of these guys can recover. It's the assumption is that Davies won't be recovered. The assumption is that Laria should be. There's a lot of question marks, which is too bad because this team at their best is world class.
See, Carm already told you they're going to go down to the third match. They better win the third match. The first match we don't know. If they win, they win. The second match, but the third, it's going to come down to the third match. Carm's telling you everybody's going to be healthy and everything like that. Carm, let me ask you this. I'm going to put her on the spot. Her first show here on the soccer show. What did you think of Steph's job?
Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant.
All right. So we got to keep her here. All right. Steph, tell everybody how to get hold of you.
She's definitely got to stay, Steph.
Carmen, thank you so much. That was
Steph,
really
tell
nice.
everybody how to get a hold of you. Social media wise.
Dankeschön.
Dankeschön. That's right. But tell everybody how to get a hold of you social media wise.
Oh, well, basically, sort of on Instagram, the Steph Dryer. You can text me, whatever, DM me. I'm also, of course, on LinkedIn. So if you just, Google me, you will find me. But yeah, I'm happy to talk to you guys again, regarding the next, sort of games that are coming up. And let's see what happens, tomorrow with the Champions League final. I mean, like I said, I'm, sort of rooting for the better, sort of team. I don't mind who wins. I'm not sure, Joe, if you put money on anybody, but I feel Carmen is right,
Carm
unfortunately.
knows that I only put money on the Toronto Maple Leafs, and that's why I'm bankrupt. All right, so that's why. All right, and then she'll be back here hopefully next week or throughout the World Cup. And Carm, myself, John Freeman Nelson, our pal from Mexico, are going to be back where we're talking about doing daily show and all that. You're more than welcome, Steph, to join us, especially when Germany plays. And especially when Germany loses, so Carm could take some shots at you since everybody's taking shots at Carm for Italy. All right, but you've been watching the soccer show here on the Fired Up Network. Carmen Asako, Steph Dwyer. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks so much. Bye.